we've got exercise for you today, which is all about working on the business rather than in it. So if you've got plenty of time on your hands, now's the time to be doing it. And it's I think a very important exercise. It might change one or two of the decisions that you make in the short term. If you haven't, some people do this sort of subconsciously, and some people don't do it at all. And I think that if it's something that you've never done at all, it will be a great exercise for you. It will help you become successful. It will help you feel successful and grow your confidence. It will give you some direction in what you're doing with the business and why. And it might change some decisions that you make in the short term that you did think were the right things to do for the business, but you know, it turns out that they're not. So we're going to be using SMART goals, which are specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timed. Okay. And we're going to be using that kind of all the way through. And we're going to start with the end in mind. Okay, so we're going to start with where you want to end up in 25 years. So these are the questions I want you to answer. There are no wrong or right answers, only as you see it. Okay, so if you say that the answer is right, then it's right, because it's all about you and your business and what your business will give you and what you perceive to be successful. What other people perceive to be successful is completely irrelevant. It's your business. It has got a job to do, which is to take you from A to B. And if it gets you to B, B is wherever you decide it to be. And if it gets you there, then it's been successful. It's achieved its objective. So that's what we're really going to do, is work out what your business's objective is over the next 25 years. So we're going to start with the end in mind. We're going to start in 25 years' time. I want you to answer the following questions. Firstly, what is your wealth going to be in 25 years' time? So your wealth is the money that you have, if you like. It doesn't need to be in your bank, but that would certainly help, right? But it's either the money in your bank, the value of your home or the equity in your home, the value of your shares that you have and investments or whatever, anything that's basically yours that you own outright. You know, whenever all the bills are paid, this stuff is yours. Your wealth, you know, across those things, what's the value of that, the monetary value of that at the end of 25 years? Also, what is your annual income in 25 years' time, and where does that pool of money come from? Is it still coming from the salon? Are you still on the salon floor? You know, for some people, you know, that might be what they want to do. For other people in 25 years' time, I definitely don't want to be on the salon floor. Where's this income going to be coming from? Is it going to be pension? You know, what is it, right? How much is it, and what is it, and where's it going to come from? Where do you live? Right, in 25 years' time, is it the same house? Do you own the house? Have you paid your mortgage off? Have you still got a mortgage? Have you got a bigger mortgage? Are you renting? You know, are you going to go from owned into renting? Where do you want to be in 25 years' time? Where do you want to live? What car do you want to drive? You know, what is the picture of your life in 25 years' time? What are the headlines, and what are the monetary amounts to all those things? Right, the car that you drive, you're either going to need to lease it, or you're going to, so how much are you paying on lease, or you've bought it, how much did you pay out to buy it, right? I want you to do that whole thing for 25 years' time. Then what I want you to do is do the same thing again for 20 years' time, okay? Right, so you can remember you're on the path from where you are to 20 years to 25 years, right? So, you know, 5 years before that, what would you be happy with? What would be success at that point? 15 years, what would be success at 15? Same again for 10, same again for 5, then for 3, then for 2, and then for 1, okay? In 1 year's time. So, then what I want you to do is kind of have that, get that all working, SMART goals for each of those things again, for those time frames. Now, so you might do this and you kind of, you look at it and at some points it's disconnected. Well, it might need polishing, you might need to go over it. You might do it and then you might look at it and kind of go, 25 years, that's not really what I want. Maybe I didn't I could have been a bit more ambitious, or maybe I need to rein it in a little bit because it's not really what I want, and I don't really want to work that hard over the next 25 years. I don't really want to make that happen. You got to keep going over it, keep changing it and changing it and changing it until you are happy that in a year you're going to do that, in 2 you're going to do that, 3 you're going to do that, 5 you're going to do that, 10, 15, 20, 25. Now, you will, if you are looking at 1 year and kind of going, I don't know how I'm going to do that, don't be frightened by that. Just because you don't know how you're going to do it, don't mean to say you can't do it, right? And the fact that you perhaps haven't been doing it, don't try and match it up to what you are doing. What we're looking for is change, right? Don't change your success goals to fit your current work pattern. Change your current work pattern to fit your success goals, right? So if it is disconnected, it probably should be, right? If it is, then that's fine. It means you're going to have to change some decisions in the short term to get you to where you need to be long term. Now, that shouldn't be a shock. Now, your business is a kind of vehicle that kind of gets you from A to B. We've already said that, and I want to use the car analogy a little bit more. So you need to know where B is. You absolutely have to. Otherwise, you're never going to get there. So if I said to you, oh, you live 2 hours from me, why don't you come over for lunch, right? Get in your car, drive for 2 hours, you'll be here. Well, that's only true if you know my address, right? And you know where you're going. If you don't know where you're going, you'll get in your car, you will drive around for 2 hours. That's enough work and that's enough fuel to get the result, right? So the investment you've made in fuel, the car and all the rest of it has been enough. The work that you've put in and the type of work is all correct to get you to my house, right? But if I don't tell you what the address is, you would just go out and drive around for 2 hours. Now you might think, well, no one would do that. But if you haven't done this goal, that's exactly what you're doing with your business. And your business is much more important than getting to me for lunch. Believe me, right? So it is really important that you know, how can your business be successful if you don't know what success is and only you set what success is, okay? So you set the end destination. That's what we're doing today. And the 20 years, 15 years, you know, so forth. That's basically setting the journey, the route map to get you from where you are, A, to B, where you want to be. In doing this, and it's really important that you get that, because it's really easy to get NIMBY and kind of go, well, I don't know what I want in 25 years. And in 20 years, I'm not going to want what I want now. And of course, that's all true, right? But the first time I come across a what do you want to call it? A exercise like this, right? It was about 30 years ago on a video done by Zig Ziglar, right? And he done it really well in that he said, right, you kind of aim for what you want in 25 years time, but know that that point's not fixed. Because basically what's going to happen is if you don't do that, you just carry on driving around in a circle, if you like, right? Getting nowhere, and nothing ever changes. But once you start moving on your journey, you start getting attention from people, you start being successful, and people then come to you with opportunities and things that you never thought of before, chances to do things turn up that you never thought that you could do, right? People come along and say, I really love the way you run your salon, would you do X, Y, Z, blah, blah, blah. And you might go off on a different direction, and that's fine as long as that different direction, one, makes you happier than what you were doing, two, gets you to your new destination, your new B, right? So it could be the same B, right, and it's just a quicker way there, or it could be a different B in that you kind of, I didn't think I could do that when I set these goals. So remember that you set where B is, and you can change that as long as there's always a B. That's the important thing. There's always a destination to aim for. If you don't have that destination, that's not great, right? Because what you do then is you make decisions, maybe even subconsciously, that are kind of good for the moment, but may not be good long-term in your business or for your own long-term success. If you know what that long-term success is, you probably get a situation where you've got to make a decision, a team member's come to you and you've got to make a decision on, yes, I could say yes to this particular team member, but it will move me away from my long-term goal. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to say no. And I get these all the time myself, right? And I make decisions that in the moment might seem strange to my team members, but I know that the decision that I've made might be harder in the short term, but it keeps me on my long-term goal, and I want to be on my long-term goal. So they're very, very important. They will change some of the decision making that you do. Also, it's a way of checking in. So in a year's time, you might not have a chain of 400 salons, but you are happy with where you are because you know that's where you wanted to be at this stage. And you know where you want to be next year and the year after, and so forth and so forth. So it's a very, very good exercise for your short-term decision making sure you're making the right decisions for yourself and for the long-term future of your business. And it's also good in a way of patting yourself on the back, kind of going, well, this is where we are, and I kind of didn't think that we would be here, and the business has grown, and we've done well. And you can pat yourself on the back for knowing that you're doing a good job and you're keeping everything ticking over. So please feedback to me. Any light bulb moments you have, any good news, any questions you have, if some of this doesn't make sense and you're a little bit stuck, please come back to me. Really, really keen to help any businesses that are working with us at Blueprints. And good luck.